I guess this dice of the Alexandrite system. One of the defining characteristics of DID and OSDD is amnesia. And I think even in OSDD systems where the primary type of amnesia is emotional amnesia, I think there are still a lot of issues with not remembering things. I think the simplest way to put it is just because you can remember something doesn't mean you will remember something. And the reason I bring this up is because I haven't been out since like October, and I'm finding out a lot of things. Like, I actually realized on camera that we have a new tattoo. Huh, I didn't know we had that. So the thing about remembering that is strange because when I saw it, I got a flood of memories of like getting it and like everything associated with that. But it's like I didn't know it was there until I saw it. It's like my memory had to be jogged on it. Other things are I didn't know that we had this camera now, but I knew how to set it up. We used to just film on our phone, but we have a camera now. Like, I can see myself while I'm filming now, and I can look at notes on our phone. That's cool. I didn't really know that we had that, but I kind of did. I think that Susan can probably really relate to me in this way, where she was gone for like over a decade, but when she came back, she kind of didn't really skip a beat. It's like she wasn't confused on what year it was, and she wasn't confused on where she was or what was going on, but all those memories had to like load up. I think this is something that even seasoned systems have trouble with at times. So we asked you guys on Twitter, what do you use to help combat amnesia? And you guys had a lot of helpful tips. So personally, our biggest friend in remembering things is our phone. I do not know what we did before this. Well, I do know. The thing that we did before we had a smartphone like this on us at all times is we used to write on our arm. I remember being in school and we would have like a really important thing of homework to do, and we knew that we would forget it unless we like wrote it somewhere that we would be sure to see it. And so we would take our arm and a pen and we would go write that fucking essay like all up and down our arm, because like even if one part washes off, like it's the whole arm. Like you're gonna see it eventually. I guess that's also one thing you can do if you don't mind having stuff written on you and like people potentially seeing it. Like feel free to write on yourself. Like grown-ups say that you're gonna get ink poisoning from it, but I think they just don't want you to write on yourself because they don't want to like encourage that for some reason. I don't think ink poisoning from like ballpoint pens on skin is a thing. Like if you don't get ink poisoning from tattoos, which go like below the skin, you're not gonna get ink poisoning. So going back to the phone, the program that we use the most is Google Note. The thing that we like about that is that one, it transfers between phones, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm going to lose all of my notes if I get a new phone. Another thing is that it has a tag system, so you can tag notes for specific people, which is really cool. Really, any like note program on a phone will be pretty much the same. I know that Evernote is one that people like. I'm sure that there are some for Apple too, but we don't have Apple. There are usually even some like built into phone programs, so you'll probably have access to one if you have a phone. Another thing we use is alarms, because we know that even if we write something down, there's no guarantee that we're going to remember it if it's time sensitive. So oftentimes we'll set alarms for like therapy appointments a day or so in advance, just so we make sure that we remember it. What's nice is that a lot of alarm programs will allow you to set it for a specific date, like Tuesday the 25th at 1 o'clock, make sure this goes off. Social media can also be really, really helpful for just remembering what you or someone else in the system did. Originally, our system Twitter was like a private Twitter just for like us and some friends to look at, to talk about system stuff and to remember things that happened between us. And that can be helpful even for just keeping a log of who was out. Similarly, apps like Dailyo, which is a mood tracking journal app, allow you to put in specific activities, and we put all of our system members in as activities, so we can log when a switch happens and just put who it was. Some people also use private Discord servers. I think one thing that's handy about that is that you can divide things up into like subcategories. So it's not just one big timeline, it can be several smaller timelines. There's also a bot that you can get for it called PluralKit, where you can just program in system members and you can have conversations written out between them. So that way you can see who a note is from without having to just write down their name or guess. PluralKit can be a pain to set up initially, but once you set it up, it'll remember your account across other servers and things. So if you join another like system server that has PluralKit, you never have to set it up again. And then there are the classics, the old standbys: Post-it notes, journaling, and calendars. I don't think too much needs to be said about this. The nice thing about Post-it notes is that you can put them wherever you want, so you can put it somewhere where you or someone else is guaranteed to see it, like the bathroom mirror or like on top of your glasses or something. Similarly, journaling has the dual purpose of being a tool to help bring people together in the system more. It can be a great way to start sharing memories between people. And then calendars are great, especially digital calendars. You can again set up like alarms or reminders to go off on certain dates. Just make sure that you put it in correctly. Recently, we've had issues with that where we've shown up to therapy on the wrong day or at the wrong time. Luckily, it's all digital right now, so like it doesn't really matter so much. But also, don't forget the importance of being able to rely on other people outside of the system. If you have a partner or roommates or a family, regardless of whether or not they know that you're a system, if you say like, hey, I'm having memory issues, can you like remind me of what we did yesterday? Or something like, hey, I don't remember buying this thing. Do you remember when I got this? Relying on other people isn't a bad thing. But I think if you take nothing else away from this video, please take this away. It's okay to not remember things. For better or for worse, it's part of the nature of the ID. I think a lot of people tend to freak out when they don't remember something because what if something happened? And the thing is, you can't know for sure. And my opinion is, relax. I know it's scary and it's difficult, but some things are just out of your control, and you have to accept that. So use these tools, work on trying to remember things, but just know that you're probably not going to remember everything. And that's okay. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.